if I stumbled on something. I used to go to M&S at Midlands, and I would go to M&S and I would buy roast potatoes for roasting. You know when you go in there, they're in a metal tin, and they've sometimes got fat in there and everything else, and you put them in the oven. No roast potatoes. They don't do roast potatoes anymore. So I think, this is a bit strange. So I go to Waitrose. I think, no roast potatoes. They don't do roast potatoes anymore. There's a world shortage of roast potatoes. I said, yeah, but I'm sorry, I don't buy roast potatoes. I'm a convenience shopper. Okay? I'm some person who goes in. That's why I keep Marks and Spencer's open and Waitrose for people like me. So people like me, idiots who cannot cook. I expect people to do it for me. I just make it. But no roast potatoes and chips. And they've got rosti. And they've got potato croquettes. But no roast potatoes. So there's obviously something sinister going on here. You don't think donkeys, and there's a very good chance you're eating donkey as well, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, I haven't eaten anything recently. I'm not being associated with eel or anybody like that. But they reckon donkeys are now being used as well to put into the food chain. Why? Because they're cheap. Because they're cheap. You know, you can slaughter these animals very easily and raw, and then they just bring them in and go, it's beef. It's beef. And Tesco's go, oh, is it? Yes, yes, yes. Have you checked? No, of course we haven't. Too busy gambling. Oh, we're making a profit on this one. They're doing a really good deal. We can offer it as Tesco value. Tesco value, nag on. And here it is. So funny, we mentioned it last week on the programme. They blow me down. Tesco's getting wrapped over the knuckles and slapped on their little bottoms again for flogging your horse. You can't trust these places, can you? And I'm looking here at this is Morrison's, and they've got family apple black rib pie for £1.29. Tickets real apple. Could be something else, couldn't it? I mean, it could be anything. Tickets real black. What is it for £1.29? You've got to look at the fact it's cheap and it's got pastry and it serves 6. Not the people we've seen on this television programme. This would serve 1 person. The fat bloke who works in the market. As I say, I'd love to see his tax bill. This would just be a snack for him. And he thinks he's a bit of a gigolo. A whole family, ladies and gentlemen, of uglies. It is not possible to have that many people with that many teeth missing in one group of people. How possible is it? Answer, very possible. Just go to this suburb of Manchester and there they are. You don't get this sort of riff-raff in London. Okay, maybe you do. Don't forget at 6, we've got In Conversation. On today's show, we catch up with EastEnders star Cara Toyton and singer-turned-ballroom dancer Kimberly Walsh. So make sure you stay tuned for that. But first, here's the LBC 97.3 news at 5:30. Listen anywhere and anytime to London's biggest conversation. LBC 97.3. Download the brand new free LBC app for iPhone and iPad. Go to the App Store or lbc.co.uk. The new LBC app. Now, even better. FM, online and digital radio. London's biggest conversation. This is LBC 97.3.
Teenagers died and a man's in a critical condition in hospital after they were shot in a street in East London. Met Police say it happened in Effra Road in Clapton at around 8:20 last night. Both were taken to hospital, but the 19-year-old couldn't be saved and died 3 hours later. The 32-year-old man is understood to be stable. The Home Secretary is accusing judges of making Britain's streets more dangerous by ignoring new rules aimed at deporting more foreign criminals. Writing in the Mail on Sunday, Theresa May is promising to introduce primary legislation to restrict the human rights of offenders. And Labour says the NHS bed shortage in England has reached dangerous levels as a third of hospitals were at bursting point last month. The party quotes Health Assist's occupancy figures, claiming 1 in 10 filled all their standard and emergency beds every day in January. London's roads in Streatham Tootingbeck Road is partially blocked eastbound due to an accident at Tootingbeck Gardens. And London's weather, a clear, sunny day ahead with a high of 7 Celsius. Right now in Trafalgar Square, it's 3 degrees. LBC 97.3, it's 5:30.
Right, so there's this brand new Passat Highline. It's got built-in climate control, parking sensors, there's one of those coloured touchscreen sat-nav systems, and 17-inch alloy wheels. And it's on sale for £21,895. No, it's not a joke, it's just unbelievable value from Volkswagen. Price stated as RRP. For more information, visit volkswagen.co.uk or
Hampton aboard Celebrity Eclipse this summer and get a beautiful balcony stateroom for just £1,599 per person. Unlimited luxury, but limited availability. So visit celebritycruises.co.uk today, because when they're gone, they're gone. When there's literally nowhere else you'd rather be, that's what we call modern luxury. Celebrity Cruises. Conditions apply. At all protected. LBC 97.3. This is London's biggest conversation with the best of Steve Allen.
You're listening to the best bits of Steve Allen from the week. At 6 this morning, we have In Conversation with Cara Toynton, who talks about dealing with difficult people whilst working on EastEnders, and Kimberly Walsh, who tells us about preparing for the Girls Aloud tour. But for now, let's carry on with my best bits. And the Catholic Church had a shock announcement this week. The Pope was giving up work for Lent. That's right, Pope Benedict XVI is resigning. But this just raised a whole host of questions for me. You can have two popes. If you're Catholic, you can have two popes, because one hasn't died. You can't just not be pope the next minute. And so now, and the other thing that was raised that I never thought about before, you know, I quite understand two popes, one that they'll keep hidden, although Vatican City said, no, he'll be free to wander about. He's the Pope. Don't be ridiculous. Of course he won't be. But the thing is, he's going to do his writings. Well, each pope have their own thoughts on different things. So you might have two popes, the ex-pope and the new pope, who might clash. One might say one thing, goes, excuse me, I'm the pope. The other one's going, well, I'm still pope as far as I'm concerned. But all the Catholics going, I'm sorry, what's going on here? All the ones I saw being interviewed on the television were horrified. Horrified yesterday. I was equally horrified when I came in this morning to discover that Martine McCutcheon has gone bust. And that ties in quite nicely to the, oh, you're gorgeous, you're wonderful, you're great. Yes, the singing midget, though she doesn't sing, Lorraine Kelly, who's done an interview with Piers Dragan on his tedious show. I mean, honestly, she's only a woman who does a programme in the morning. She's not a celebrity. And all she talks about, embarrassment to her daughter, is how Ben Affleck or somebody gazed down on her heaving chest. And that's the basis of the interview. That's how desperately sad Piers Morgan's. They can't get anybody. Can we get Lorraine Kelly? She said she'll do it for free. Get Lorraine Kelly and she'll talk about her bosom for you for 20 minutes. So that features in the paper today. And also how some people, she sits there and she glazes over. I told you this before. Comes as no surprise to me. I'm an expert on people interviewing, let me tell you. And she said she glazes over and all she thinks is, how am I going to get 2.5 minutes out of this? I'm thinking, you're in the wrong job, love. If you really struggle to get 2.5 minutes out of somebody, you're definitely in the wrong job. Definitely in the wrong job. She'll be in makeup even as we speak, I should imagine. 10 past. Well, she's been in makeup for probably about an hour and a half, I would think. Looks like she travels in on. I don't know why there's the interest in Lorraine Kelly. She's perfectly acceptable as a girl next door. And the other thing she tells you is about her love life. Who is remotely interested? This short, dumpy little... It's like Anne Widdecombe discussing things like that. I don't want to hear it. Well, you wouldn't hear from Anne Widdecombe, would you? I mean, I don't think it's very likely at all, I'm afraid. But Martine McCutcheon going bust. Now, I'm afraid it kind of annoys me. I'm sorry to be annoyed about it, because I've been out socially with Martine. I do like her. Don't get me wrong, I do like her. But what I absolutely hate is people who don't pay their way. We all earn money in the business that we're in. Some of you, of course, don't, and you're called spongers. But the rest of people earn money, and you earn money, and what you're supposed to do is you actually put money aside to pay your taxes. That's how it works. You don't start, you know, I don't think coming up to tax, right, I've got my tax money there, what the hell, let's go blow it on a car. Let's go buy a brand new Bentley, you know, and not bother paying the tax man. I mean, people are now going, oh, what does it matter? You know, I told you before, $250 million is basic. And so you look at Martine McCutcheon, who's had hit records. She's had a hit book. She's had hit films. She's had a hit show, nearly had a hit show. Cameron McIntosh swore blind he'd never work with her again, I think, after My Fair Lady and the fiasco that went on there because she became ill. And so she's got debts of 187,000 quid. 140,000 of this she owes the tax man. So in other words, she's spent money she's had, okay? This is how it works. Somebody gives you the money. Your agent goes, right, I've deducted my 20%, and the rest is yours. And she's gone, oh, because she's only it was only in 2003, she was living in a £1 million house. You know, she had all these things, it was all very successful. Then between then and now. I mean, she's only just finished the Activia yogurt thing. They've replaced her with Got One. She must have earned a good God in heaven. I mean, more than £100,000 easily for that advert. If somebody fronts something, and I know because I spoke to one of the, I don't know how much she earned, but I know from one of the directors because he was filming her in a rowboat. And I said to her, I said, I gather you're filming for a yogurt thing. She said, how do you know that? I said, because I know the director, or he could be a producer, I'm not sure, either way. And so she said, oh, I said, I'm gathering it's going to be in a rowboat. She said, no, it's not. I don't do rowboats. And I thought, oh, okay. Well, for this much money, of course you do rowboats, you do anything. As it turned out, it wasn't. It was static. And then I thought, she's earned a lot of money. So she's obviously spent it. They're in rented accommodation, her and her old man at the moment, out in Esher, which is not cheap. You know, if you're really going to make an effort to do something and sort of try and pay something back, she's obviously got no intention of paying anything back. So what she's done is, she's made herself bankrupt. So it's 150 grand owed to the customs and HM revenue, 30 grand owed to the bank. I think it's Lloyd's Bank. And so what you do is, and this is where it really, really annoys me. You make yourself bankrupt, you write off your debt, you don't pay bugger all to the Inland Revenue, and then in a year's time, she's back to square one. She can carry on earning money. And you think, it's wrong, isn't it? It's wrong. We had it with that dreadful, who's that old bag who was dancing on ice, Nancy Adrona, and she was on there. Her sister made herself bankrupt, and her old man, so they both declared themselves bankrupt, and then wrote a blooming book about it. You know, how to declare yourself bankrupt. Oh, there's no shame in it anymore. No, it's called not paying your blooming way. Everybody else has to pay for it. Everybody else has to pay taxes. People get chased. You don't pay your taxes. Sure as God made little apples. Somebody's even knocking on your door. And apparently, if you're a celebrity, you just write it off. You just go, well, I'll sod you lot. You can. Only little people pay taxes. You go and pay your tax. I've declared myself bankrupt. You know, I haven't got I mean, how on earth it's ever got to that much money? I can't imagine. It must be the knock-on effect. The Inland Revenue must sit there and weep at the amount of celebrities and other people who go, well, I can't afford to pay, I made myself bankrupt. And that way you write off the debt. It used to be about 3 years, now it's about a year. So a year later you come back, you just carry on. Her agent says that she's got all sorts of things coming up. I believe, I mean, this bankruptcy came after she negotiated a huge deal for photos of her wedding to musician Jack McManus in September. I mean, she's had, you know, high profile all over the place. And so somebody now comes in and administers her estate, or what's, there can't be anything left, can there? And then in a year's time, she just carries on. But in the meanwhile, the Inland Revenue don't get the 150 grand, which I think is just awful. I mean, and you know, money must have rolled into the coffers. I get so angry. You think Anthea Turner's sister, because Anthea's living in a £10 million house, Anthea loves rubbing your dirty little nose, isn't it? On how rich she is. Even though her old man, Grant Bovey, has failed at most things, including keeping his marriage together. But these people just put themselves into bankruptcy and they just write it off. They're having a laugh at your expense. I think it's awful. Every time I see that woman on the television, who's that blooming woman who does one of the Cash in the Attic programmes? Lawn Spice? She's another one put herself. She's earned a fortune off. She's not stopped being on television for years. No one who couldn't be bothered to pay her bloody taxes. Like, I'm sorry you're so angry about it, but the rest of us have to do it. You're probably sitting there going, I've just had to pay my tax. And these people with their smug little faces on television go, well, I'm not going to pay my tax. I'm going to make myself bankrupt. It really, really annoys me. I'm trying not to let it annoy me this morning. I'm trying not to have a rant over it, but I just get so angry that most of you, you know, flog your little bottoms to death. I was being polite. You know, and at the end of the day, you pay your taxes. Nobody wants to pay taxes, believe you me. Given the choice, tax avoidance, paying tax. Tax avoidance, paying tax. Jimmy Carr, offshore. Jimmy Carr, offshore, not paying tax. Oh, got caught out. Gary Barlow, offshore. Oh, sorry, Gary. Don't worry, because you've got, you know, an award from the Queen, so that means it doesn't matter. You can carry on doing that. Barclays have just closed down. The arm of Barclays that told people how to avoid tax. I didn't even know such a thing existed. Otherwise, I'd have moved all my stuff, lock, stock and two smoking barrels over to Barclays. I had no idea. They've actually got a department that helps you avoid tax, and they've decided in the interest of the country that they're going to close that one down. Oh, well, bully for them. How much tax did... Would you just love to find out how much tax Gary Barlow paid last year? We like to start, and thank God for you all raising money. Not that you did, but it was left to some of his rich friends to help. He's going to be visited today by old Bianca. Old Bianca Gascoigne is going to fly out from Australia, and she's planning to dash from her home to be at his bedside as he recovers. I should imagine you're the last bloody person he wants to see, dear. Why would you want to see Bianca Gascoigne have failed everything? Failed singer, she's tried everything. She pitched up on the X Factor, didn't she? She didn't do much use there, and so she's flying. Oh, will that be a photo opportunity, Bianca? Will you be selling your story of how you hate your stepfather? Oh no, you've done that before, haven't you? I've just remembered, actually. You really loathe him, except when it comes to publicity. This could be a goodie for you. You might be on a money spinner, girl. Go on, go for it. So now we bring on Bianca Gascoigne, otherwise known as Little Miss Publicity, otherwise known as Little Miss Desperado. She'll do anything. And his medical bill is being covered. It's reported to be 100,000 quid already. And now she's changed her profile picture on Twitter, a picture of her with her stepfather. Oh, nothing like still milking it, eh, Bianca? It's so funny, actually. Seeing as only a short while ago you were slating him to the ground, darling. But of course, when it suits, best you stay in Australia. I think that's a very good place to go to. Very good place. So is it an area of privacy if the Duchess is walking along a beach? It's an Italian magazine. I think it's the same magazine that printed nude pictures of Prince Andrew. They couldn't care. Listen, if somebody is foolish enough to go out there onto an island and walk about naked, you know how big these camera lenses are now. They can go miles. They can go miles. Somebody's out to sea on a boat, bobbing around on a beautiful bridie, and there she is walking along a beach, you know, in a bikini, and she's pregnant. And they say here William will fight to protect his wife. Well, stop her walking around pregnant. It's fairly simple. You're not going to stop this magazine. They're going to print them, and you know damn well that they're going to be printed in the paper in this country. Somebody will push the boat out and go, listen, they've now been printed here. They cannot go round the world stopping pictures of themselves. I'm terribly sorry. You can't have it both ways. You cannot be royal one minute and then pretend you're just an ordinary person and it's an invasion of privacy. It doesn't work. Okay? Ever find the Queen? You know, we've had the Queen having to pick up the pieces for a few minor members of the royals. I mean, God, you know, and Sarah, got the name already. Sarah deliberately forgot her name. I was trying to airbrush her out of history completely. Sarah Ferguson. I mean, she thrives in front of the camera. She couldn't care less whether they took a picture of her looking dreadful or whether she looked absolutely stunning. So, you know, William, I hate to say this because we're all big fans, big fans, but stop her walking about on a beach. You know, you walk about on a beach, there's going to be somebody offshore in a boat with a telephoto lens. They're going to take a picture and they're going to print them. And the paper and the magazine will sell loads. Apparently, they say here, the Duke and Duchess are furious. Yet again, they're unable to have a holiday without apparently imagining images being taken against their will. Well, it's kind of tough. I hate to point out the patently obvious. I mean, be like Chantal Houghton. Take your own photographer with you. You know, only a number of other third-rate celebrities. We use the term so loosely nowadays, ladies and gentlemen. So that's it. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. Italian magazine wants to pay for pictures. The photographers are brave enough to go out there and take them. You've got to put up with it. You've absolutely got to put up with it. It comes with the territory. I'm ever so sorry. If you don't like it, well, then sort of live in a bivouac on a beach or something, or go to an island where you're in the middle and it's totally private. But if you walk along a beach that can be seen from the sea, you're asking for trouble. I shouldn't have to point that out to you, but quite clearly, nobody nowadays has any privacy whatsoever. You'd have thought that they'd learned their lesson after the last time, or at least learned to not make it matter at all. We'll have another quick break here. When we're back, you'll hear about a big mistake made by Eamon Holmes. Oh dear, never mind.
LBC 97.3. This is London's biggest conversation with the best of Stephen.
And a wonderful day we have here for racing. They're under starters orders, and they're off. Now the team is gone. far as I'm concerned, but I don't doubt many of you got some cars, or some flowers, or maybe even a completely overpriced meal. Valentine's Day. I love the way that the papers have still got adverts for flowers. If you've left it this late, I'd give up and go home now, because you can buy 12 roses. I think it's 12 roses in Tesco for £5, and you think, you cheapskate. That's the most it's worth, is it? You know, a lifetime full of love, £5. Thank you very much indeed. Not very good at all, is it? Not very good at all. Nice to see Eamon Holmes having to grovel yesterday, as yet again this morning did another cock-up. The last time was with Philip Schofield, when he inadvertently flashed a list of paedophile names. Eamon Holmes the other day, unfortunately on the programme, they showed the pictures of Kate's bump on the beach, and they didn't know about it. What are they employing in their control room? Are they 5-year-olds? Or have they done it going, listen, if we just get to apologise, we can show it. We're going to make all the payments. They've made all the papers. All Eamon has to do is do one of his grovelling, you know, tugging of the forelock kind of thing, that you've blown your chance of any knighthood or CB or anything else, mate, out the window completely. They'll have your head on a block before the end of the week, I should imagine. So, ITV Chump flashes pictures of Kate's bump. I mean, that comes down to vision control. That comes down to the editor of the programme. That comes down to the person producing this, saying, oh, flash this up here. Nobody flashes that up inadvertently. Somebody's got to tell you to do it, and it's got to be brought up on the desk. It's exactly the same. I can't turn on any of these other microphones in the studio. They've got to be done by the producer. So, you know, if inadvertently you heard somebody swear the other side of the studio, because there's like, we always have an audience, as you know, in the studio in the morning to watch the programme going out. This morning we've got 10 of you. Hello? All right, don't say anything then, I don't mind. And they sit there and watch the programme going out, but if inadvertently the producer pushes their microphone up, then you're going to hear them swearing. But it's nothing to do with me. I can't touch it. It can only be done by the producer. And so when they have to apologise, and Eamon Holmes had to do this grovelling apology, it's a case of they've got coverage. They're not bothered about it. They're a bit like the supermarkets and the horse meat. The supermarkets are only getting uppity because you found out about the horse meat. They've known about it for donkey's years. They can't be that stupid. And I think it was, I forget which one of the critics writing in the paper today was talking about, oh, now Asda have cut out their meatballs because they fear that pork has probably got in there as well. I did say the other day, a little bit of an embarrassment to the Muslim people who don't want to eat pork because of their religious beliefs. It's a bit like horse meat. It's not going to do you any harm. It's just you don't want to eat it. But I can't see any Muslims, and most Muslims make their own meatballs, I should imagine. They don't go in and buy frozen ones in Waitrose or go to Asda. It's just not the kind of thing that people do, is it? If you're Muslim, I mean, the majority of Indian, but you don't think they go out and buy the Indian range, do you? At Waitrose, or the Chinese people going to buy the Chinese food in Marks and Spencer's. No, absolutely not. I think it's Rod Liddle who's talking about the food. Now, was he talking about the food? Let's have a quick look here. He might not have been, actually. He might not have been. But he says, oh, that's right. He said, notice how this horse meat business is all the fault of evil foreigners and criminals. That's because everybody's too scared to point the finger of blame at the real villains, the big supermarkets. They're the ones who don't give a monkey's about what was in the meat they passed off to consumers as beef. They just bought the cheapest, lowest grade muck they could find, and now pretend to be shocked when we found out what is actually in it. I tried to get an interview in Tesco, he said, but some haughty madam in the press office said they were not talking to the press at all. Rod says, I bet you're not. Hopefully, though, you'll end up talking to the old Bill. I reckon it's more worth making the effort to stay away from the supermarkets and shop in the local high street, if you have one. But what have I said all the time? Go to the local high street. The big supermarkets, they want to close down the high street. The former boss of Tesco said that. He said they're archaic. He said people want to shop in the big supermarkets. No, we don't, mate. No, we don't. Because the big supermarkets cheat you. They tell you it's beef. It's not. And they carry on selling it. And then they go, oh, we're so sorry, so sorry. But we've sold about 300 tons of this crap food, and you bought it, suckers. They don't care. They don't care about you. You couldn't care less. You could go in there and argue till the cows come home. I should imagine in Waitrose. You know, I bought these beef meatballs. Yeah, what do you want us to do about it? Well, I've eaten them now, haven't I? But they've got pork in. My religion says I'm not supposed to eat pork. Perhaps they should have demonstrations like women in burqas outside Waitrose. You just see it, can't you? Because if truth be known, it doesn't do you any harm eating horse. There's no problem with it. There's no sort of medical evidence as to say that you're going to drop dead. That makes no difference at all. The problem is that they've lied to you on the packaging. They've said it's one thing, and we now know it's not. That's what it comes down to. It's a case of lying to somebody. You know, if they say this is made with all butter, I'm expecting it to be all butter because I trust them. I'm naive and stupid enough to trust the supermarket and to say, yeah, don't worry, if you say it's all butter cookies, then I'm convinced it's all butter cookies. The fact that it could be some cheap, low-grade margarine will only be discovered, and of course you'll all be knowing about it, won't you? Because that's what happens. You eat this sort of stuff, and then later on they go, actually, it's not what it is. Not what it is. Do you know, there's a picture of a girl in the paper today, well, it's not a girl, it's a bloke, who's had a sex change at 16, and he's going out with this bloke who works in a cafe, and he said, she's stunning, we're in love, I don't care, she used to be called Jack. You know, which is fine. I never quite understand transsexuals, though. Why they have this insatiable urge to tell everybody, you know, I used to be a bloke, so, I used to be £6 3 ounces, and they're rushing around telling everybody. Why do they have to do it? And apparently she's been in Miss England. Well, they'll be re-evaluating that one, I should imagine, now to include transsexuals. And so here it is, and she's found love and romance. But I think she's been in the papers before. She's quite clearly saying, yeah, we had the one on Big Brother. Do you remember? I can't remember what it was, but that was female to male. Looked like a woman as far as I was concerned. Looked exactly like a woman. But they can't wait to tell you. So I've got a little secret, have you? Oh, God, what is it? You dread it. Your heart drops, doesn't it, on Big Brother, when one of the contestants goes, I've got a secret. I think I can confide in you and all the millions of people watching. I used to be a woman. No kidding. No, like we're all supposed to be surprised now. I'm not surprised by anybody. If somebody tells me, you know, there used to be a midget working in a circus, I couldn't care less. I really couldn't care less. I do love the comment, though, from Ollie Murs today. It has to be one of my favourite